Hi, I'm Isabella from Coming of Screen. How are you, Jeff?
I'm doing great, Isabella. How are you?
I'm doing well. So excited to chat with you about this film. I guess my first question to you is what I really appreciated about The Devil's Mouth is that it starts off with already like a lot of tension between the friend group. And I think that is established through that jellyfish sequence. I'd love to hear from you. Like, how was it to kind of bring that tension way to the beginning of the film?
Well, look, that's what drew me to the film. When I heard the idea, the notion of a shark movie in a claustrophobic space, I was like, well, that sounds cool. I'm very interested in reading that script. But what kind of really hooked me was the dynamic between the friends and the study of female friendship that Asia Gable and MJ Westner created in those earlier drafts. And so I think that's really why the movie kind of works. There's plenty of shark movies, there's plenty of claustrophobic horror movies, but when you have a movie about a friendship that's as complicated as Sarah and Max's, and you have two powerhouse actresses like Kathryn Newton and Lana Condor playing those roles, it's hard to not lean in.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was talking to Gavin earlier, and he was talking about how it was like to shoot some of the practical elements of some of those shark attacks. I'd love to hear more about how you explore those scenes with the cast, especially because they were kind of demanding scenes for them.
Yeah, no, the whole shoot was really demanding. I mean, they're in water the whole time. Like you get exhausted swimming. And before I cast all the actors, I said to them, "Hey, listen, you are going to work harder on this movie than you've ever worked in your life. So you got to know that. You got to be on board for that. This is not going to be a walk in the park, but it will be the adventure of a lifetime." And I think they would all agree that it was exactly that. For the shark attack scenes in particular, I'm a big believer in rehearsal. I asked all the actors to get there a couple of weeks ahead of time so that we could rehearse not just the dialogue and the performances, but also the stunts. We had a stunt pool, and my stunt coordinator, Alan D'Antoni, who's done a bunch of movies with me, he had a whole sort of stunt workshop set up there with winches and pieces of scenery that they could dive through and practice breath holds and rehearse getting jerked around the pool. And the actors were totally on board for that and went and did their stunt rehearsals and that I think that's how we kind of got them used to the idea. But I'm sure Gavin probably mentioned that nothing prepares you for getting jerked across a set on a winch as if a shark is attacking you. I mean, it's a pretty bracing experience, and I made him do it a lot. But fortunately, he was up for the challenge, and I think just absolutely crushed it.
No, it was really cool though, the way that you guys shot it. And you were talking about the casting process and before having everyone on board, just telling them that it would be quite physically demanding. But I'd love to hear from you, like, what was the casting process like? Because you have a pretty stacked ensemble.
Yeah, we have a fantastic cast. And look, Erica Lee, who produced the movie with me, and Basil Alanic from Thunder Road, she's brilliant at pulling movies together. So she was really my partner through the whole casting process and working with different talent agents and managers to find the best actors for these roles. And so ultimately, it was about just isolating who those people were and who was willing to go on this adventure with us. And Kathryn led the charge. We cast her first. And what's interesting is we kind of cast her against type. Like in my brain now, Kathryn is Sarah and Sarah is Kathryn, and I would say the same about Lana and Max. But when we were first casting the film, both Kathryn and Lana thought they should be playing the other part, and there were some people on the crew that were actually quite confused and thought that somehow we had made a typo on the first crew and cast list. But no, ultimately, I think having them play something that was a little bit different for them allowed their performances to be even more compelling and more interesting. And I'm so glad we did it that way.
Yeah, I'm glad you did it that way too. Lana was actually super happy about it when I was talking to her. Thank you so much, Jeff. It was lovely to get to talk to you today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much, Isabel.